Ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why a woman can walk into a room and make heads turn without saying a single word. It's not just the way she looks, it's the way she carries herself, the way she owns her presence, and the way she refuses to shrink in a world that often asks her to. Men can't resist a woman who knows exactly who she is, a woman who walks with purpose, speaks with conviction, and doesn't apologize for taking up space. Confidence isn't about arrogance, it's about knowing your worth and never settling for less. And let's not forget the magic of mystery. The most irresistible women are the ones who don't reveal everything at once. They keep the world guessing, not because they play games, but because they understand that their essence is a story worth unfolding, layer by layer. But let me be clear, beauty isn't just about looks. It's the fire in your eyes when you speak your truth. It's the way your mind challenges the world. It's the kindness that you show when no one is watching. Men are drawn to a woman who is beautiful beyond the surface, a woman whose soul shines brighter than her skin. And the most powerful thing of all, a woman who is unapologetically herself. She doesn't need approval. She doesn't need permission. She simply exists in her own light, and that light is impossible to ignore. Men can't resist women not just because of how they look, but because of the strength, grace, and fire they carry within them. Because when a woman knows her worth, the world has no choice but to take notice. Confidence is not just a trait. It's an energy, a force that moves through the air before a word is even spoken. It's the way a woman enters a room not demanding attention, but effortlessly commanding it. It's in the way she carries herself, her shoulders pulled back, her gaze steady, her steps purposeful. And men, they feel it before they even realize what's drawing them in. There's something undeniably magnetic about a woman who knows her worth, not in a loud, boastful way, but in the quiet, unwavering belief that she is enough, that she doesn't need validation, that she doesn't shrink herself to fit into someone else's expectations. And that kind of confidence, it's intoxicating. It's the kind of thing that makes people stop mid-sentence just to watch her move, to listen to what she has to say, to understand what makes her so different. But confidence isn't about perfection, number. It's about knowing that you are worthy even in your imperfections. It's about embracing the parts of yourself that the world told you to hide. The scars, the past, the moments of self-doubt you have fought through. It's about owning your story so completely that no one else gets to rewrite it for you. There is nothing more irresistible than a woman who is unapologetic about her presence. She does not beg for attention, nor does she chase it. She simply exists in a way that demands to be seen. She speaks, and people listen out because she is the loudest voice in the room, but because she speaks with conviction, because she does not second-guess her own words, because she does not look around to see who approves before she moves forward. Men, whether they admit it or not, are captivated by this kind of energy. It's not about beauty. Not really. It's not about the perfect hair or the designer dress or the flawless makeup. Those things might catch the eye, but they don't hold the soul. What holds a man's attention, what truly captivates him, is the woman who doesn't seek permission to be herself. The woman who is comfortable in her own skin. The woman who, even in silence, speaks volumes. And it's not just men. Confidence shifts the atmosphere. It makes people rethink how they see you. It makes them wonder what it is about you that feels so different, so powerful, so undeniable. It makes them want to be around you, not just for how you look, but for how you make them feel like they are standing in the presence of someone who knows exactly who she is. A woman like that, she doesn't wait for a seat at the table. She builds her own. She doesn't wait to be chosen. She chooses herself. She doesn't chase, she attracts. Because confidence isn't about what's on the outside. It's an energy, a vibration, a silent, unshakable force that moves through the world and leaves a lasting mark wherever it goes. And when you have that, the world, including the men in it, has no choice but to take notice. The most captivating women in the world are the ones who don't lay all their cards on the table. They are the ones who move with a quiet confidence, leaving traces of their essence behind just enough to intrigue, but never too much to be predictable. There is something undeniably powerful about a woman who doesn't feel the need to explain herself, a woman who doesn't rush to fill every silence with words, a woman who lets curiosity work in her favor. Men are drawn to mystery like moths to a flame, not because it is a game, but because it ignites something primal within them, the need to uncover, to explore, to understand. And yet, the beauty of mystery is that it cannot be fully grasped. It keeps unfolding, revealing, shifting, but never quite giving itself away completely. A woman who embodies this power doesn't have to chase. She doesn't have to prove anything. She simply is, and that alone is enough. There's a certain magic in unpredictability. In a world where so much is expected, where everyone is in a rush to figure everything out, a woman who is not entirely readable becomes unforgettable. She doesn't post every thought. She doesn't overshare her life. And she doesn't seek validation in the eyes of others. She moves at her own rhythm, allowing the world to wonder about her next step. And that is magnetic. You see, mystery is not about playing hard to get. It's about knowing that not everything about you needs to be available for the world to dissect. There is power in the unknown, in leaving room for imagination, in allowing your presence to linger in someone's mind long after you've left the room. It's the way you say just enough, but not everything. It's the way you carry yourself with quiet confidence, never desperate for attention, yet always commanding it. Men don't just fall for beauty, they fall for what they cannot fully define. A woman who is completely predictable may be comfortable, but a woman who carries a certain enigma, who surprises, who keeps evolving, who challenges, she becomes unforgettable. She keeps a man on his toes, not by manipulation, but simply by being a force that refuses to be contained. Think about the great stories, the unforgettable characters, the legends of history. The ones who remain in the minds of others are the ones who had layers, depths yet to be discovered. A woman who understands this doesn't seek approval for every choice she makes, nor does she hand over every part of herself too soon. She lets her energy do the talking. She lets the world come to her instead of constantly giving herself away. There's a certain kind of woman who doesn't walk into a room and announce her presence here. She lets her presence be felt. She doesn't always reveal her next move. She allows curiosity to build. And in that space and that uncertainty, she becomes irresistible. Because the most alluring thing about a woman is not just what she gives, but what she chooses to hold back. Beauty is a force that transcends the surface. It's not just about the shape of a face, the way the hair falls, or the color of the eyes. It is something deeper, something that lingers long after the first impression fades. It is found in the way a person carries themselves, the energy they bring into a room, the way they make people feel. True beauty is an experience. It's the fire that burns within, the kindness that radiates without, and the depth that captivates without a single word. Have you ever met someone who wasn't the most conventionally beautiful person in the room, yet somehow they were the one no one could take their eyes off? There's a reason for that. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about a kind of confidence that doesn't come from seeking validation, but from knowing deep within that you are enough, that you bring something rare, something irreplaceable, something no one else in this world can offer in exactly the way you do. And that kind of beauty is unforgettable. Men may admire a pretty face, but what they truly can't resist is a woman who knows her worth beyond the mirror. A woman who doesn't measure herself by the opinions of others, who doesn't shrink to fit into expectations, who doesn't wait for permission to shine. She doesn't seek approval. She owns who she is. She moves with a quiet kind of power, a strength that doesn't need to announce itself, but is felt in every step she takes. There is something intoxicating about a woman who is in love with her own mind, who speaks with a voice that doesn't tremble, who listens with the kind of focus that makes others feel seen. It is in the way she lifts others up, not by dimming herself, but by proving that there is space for everyone to glow. It is in the way she refuses to be defined by society's standards, knowing that real beauty is not about how well she fits in, but how boldly she stands out. And then there's the fire, the kind of passion that can't be imitated, that can't be faked. It's in the way she throws herself into life with purpose, with hunger, with an unshakable belief that she is meant for more. A woman who carries that fire, she doesn't walk, she moves the world. She doesn't just exist, she lives in a way that others can feel. And that is a beauty no one can turn away from. Because beauty is not just what is seen, it is what is felt. It is what lingers in the hearts of people long after they've walked away. It is not in the features, it is in the fire. And once you embrace that truth, once you stop looking for beauty outside and start becoming it from within, nothing will ever dim your light again. Unapologetic authenticity is the rarest kind of beauty. It is not the kind that fades with time, nor is it something that can be replicated or imitated. It is raw, unfiltered, and completely untamed. A woman who embraces every part of herself, the strengths, the flaws, the contradictions, is a woman who commands attention without even trying. She does not seek validation because she knows her worth isn't tied to the opinions of others. She is comfortable in her own skin, unshaken by the world's expectations, and that kind of presence is impossible to ignore. She does not dim her light to make others comfortable. She does not shrink to fit into boxes that society has built for her. When she walks into a room, she does not wonder if she belongs. She already knows she does. There is something magnetic about a woman who refuses to apologize for existing exactly as she is. She speaks her truth even when her voice shakes. She does not mold herself into what is convenient or easy. She embraces the fire within her, knowing that some will be warmed by it while others might be burned. And that is the beauty of authenticity. It does not seek to please. It does not beg to be liked. It simply exists boldly and unapologetically. Some people will be drawn to it and others will be intimidated by it, but a truly authentic woman does not care. She is not here to be easily understood. She is not here to fit into someone's perfect image of who she should be. She is here to be real. There will be times when the world will try to silence her, times when she's told to soften her edges, to be less loud, less ambitious, less emotional, less everything. She will be told to conform, to follow, to obey, but she won't, because she knows that the moment she starts living for others, she loses herself. And her flaws with pride. She is not perfect, and she never pretends to be. She has fallen, she has broken, she has known pain that cannot be put into words. But she does not hide those scars. She wears them like medals of honor. They are proof of survival, of resilience, of strength. They tell the story of a woman who has walked through fire and emerged stronger. A woman who does not run from her past but embraces it as part of who she is. And when she laughs, it is from the soul. When she loves, it is without fear. When she stands up for herself, it is with an unshakable spirit. She does not water herself down to be digestible. She does not trade authenticity for acceptance. She does not betray herself just to be loved. She is enough exactly as she is. And that is what makes her unforgettable. That is why the world can't help but take notice. Emotional strength is something that cannot be faked. It is not about never breaking down or always having the answers. It is about rising even when the weight of the world tries to keep you on your knees. It's about standing in the middle of chaos and saying, I will not be defeated. That kind of strength is magnetic. It is the force that makes people stop and take notice. It is the silent power that speaks louder than words. A woman who is emotionally strong does not beg for love. She does not chase, nor does she crumble when someone fails to see her worth. She knows that love is not something to be demanded. It is something that flows naturally toward those who stand firm in their truth. She understands that being vulnerable is not a weakness, but a privilege reserved for those who earn a place in her life. And that is what makes her irresistible. She has seen heartbreak, she has faced rejection, she has been told she's too much or not enough, but she did not let those words define her. She took every scar, every tear, every sleepless night and turned them into the foundation of her strength. She did not let pain turn her bitter. Instead, she let it carve wisdom into her soul. When she walks into a room, there is something about her, an aura of resilience, a quiet confidence that whispers, I have seen storms, and yet I am still standing. Men cannot resist a woman who does not need them but chooses them. There is a difference. A woman who depends on someone for her happiness, her self-worth, or her sense of identity becomes easy to manipulate. But a woman who knows that she is already complete, that kind of woman is untouchable. She does not break down over temporary losses. She does not beg for attention, validation, or approval. She knows that her emotions are hers to own, not anyone else's to control. And when she loves with depth. She does not love to fill a void. She loves because she has so much within her that it overflows, but she will never let her love be taken for granted. She will walk away from anything that does not serve her because she has learned that choosing herself is not selfish, it is necessary. There is something powerful about a woman who has been through the fire and emerged stronger. She does not fear the unknown because she has already survived what she once thought she couldn't. She does not hold on to things that hurt her because she knows her energy is sacred. She does not beg to be understood because she understands herself. And that kind of energy, that kind of self-assurance, that kind of emotional depth, it cannot be ignored, it cannot be forgotten. It stays in the mind long after she has left the room. Because true strength is not loud. It does not demand attention. It simply exists, and in its existence, it commands respect.